In this last video, I'll show the completion of the sockets and grooves and dadoes for the till pieces, and I'll make the chest top with its thumbnail molding. This is the stage that we left it in the last video, and the first thing I want to do is open up the front component for editing and get that center line of the hinge of the dowel. Get that center line marked into the component, the front component and the back component, to identify where to create the socket in the front and back components. So I drew a short line on the center line with the components open, and at this point I can make a copy of the back component and push it back, and there you can see the center line that I drew, and I'll edit the component and create a 1/4 inch diameter socket 7/16 inch deep with the circle tool, and now the push-pull and typing 7/16. So both the front and the back, since they're the same component at this stage, have that 1/4 inch socket for the hinge. The other thing that we need is the joinery, the grooves and the dadoes for the till pieces. So I'm editing the back, and I'm intersecting the face with the model, and immediately the outline of the till grooves and dados show up in that back component. There they are. That's using the intersect function. Now I can turn these edges into the groove and a dado 3/16 inch deep, and accommodate the front and back components of the till. Both the front and the back components have that dado and groove. So the two components are still identical, but they're going to have to change and be independent components when you put locks and key locks and hinges on these components. Okay, just for checking purposes, let's look at an X-ray view and see that the socket and the dowel are all lined up properly on the same center line, and they are. Now I'm noticing some edges down here that need to be smoothed out on the end, and these edges right here should not show up. So I pick the eraser tool, hold down the control key, and swipe across or click on these edges, and that immediately smooths them. That's the right end fixed. Now the left end, I have to open that component for editing and use the eraser tool with the control key to smooth out, remove those extra edges. Okay, close the component, and I believe we're ready to make the chest top. Here we are with the rectangle tool again, corner to corner, creating a face. Double click on that face, right click, make component, and call that the top. Use the push-pull tool, edit component, pull that up 3/4 of an inch thick. There's an overhang on the top. The edges and the fronts are 1/2 inch overhang, so I'll pull out the end first, then I can double click on the front to create that overhang, double click on the other end, and I've got the full length and width of the top component. We need a thumbnail molding on the top edge, on 3 of the edges, not the back. So I'm going to lay out some guidelines here. 5/16 across, 5/16 down. This will be the size of the thumbnail on the back edge of the top. With a line tool, I'm going to create a 32nd of an inch length line down on the blue axis, and then over on the red axis another 32nd. Do the same thing, 1/32 across, 1/32 up, and then put in a radius with the arc tool between those points. Where's my tangents? It's close enough. There's the shape, the profile for the thumbnail molding, and I'll use the Follow Me tool to route that on the 3 edges by clicking and selecting the left end, front end edge, and the right end edge, and then click on the Follow Me tool. Click the Follow Me tool on the profile, and bang, all 3 edges are routed to that profile shape. One thing I would like to show is the hinge of the till top and how that can be rotated. I'm going to hide the top so we can see the till. And I don't know where the center of the rotation should be, so I'm going to again edit the front component, edit component, and draw a line in the center line of the rotation of the joint of the dowel, and bring it out far enough so that it protrudes through the front surface. Now I can see where the center of rotation should be. I select the till top and grab the rotate tool, bring it over to the face of the front, click it on the origin there, and start the rotation. And everything seems to be working well with no interferences. Undo, and I'll bring the top back into place. There's more that can be done here with hardware. We haven't installed the hinges nor the lock. That's something that needs to be done, plus the location of the nails on all of these faces.